boxing, and chicken.
Wow.
But it was tough. I mean, the preparation is really hard, but I love that bit of it. I love doing this kind of movie and these kind of action sequences. I mean, and we were just on our feet all day long, every day, and we loved it. We loved it, actually. I love you.
Len, this film looks like you service all the characters very well, but the world that you've created, the detail that you've created in that world was what really caught my eye as I was watching that footage. What were some of your inspirations? Where did you come up with some of the ideas for that dystopian sort of futuristic look that you created there?
I mean, a lot of it has been one just in the making. I feel like since I was 10, 11 years old, of wanting to bring a future world to life, and so I was finally given the chance to be able to do that. And so there's a lot of ideas in there that I have been really thinking about, and you know, in terms of just how the world is built. I'd never seen a world that's built on top of itself rather than expanding out. That just created a whole different type of world than I've seen before. And in terms of inspiration, there's probably too many to talk over so many years. But a lot of it is also just I collect a lot of sci-fi art and concept art, and always have. So I'm sure that works its way in there as well. And then just your own childhood fantasies, really, too.
I think what makes a film like this is believable is that you create a world so vibrant and so literal that you can easily get lost in it. It just looks terrific.
Thank you.
Let's take some questions from the audience. I'm sure you guys had plenty of them to talk about with Len and the cast of Total Recall. Yes, sir.
Just an incredible trailer. I mean, it just blew me away. So here's what I was kind of scared of. Yes. I was just worried that it'd be kind of tongue-in-cheek humor, like the original. It looks like it's going to be a lot of action. I guess there's 3 different ways you can go. You can look at it as rebellion against people repressing you. You can look at it as pure action. And the third way is looking at it as a mystery. What's going on? Which way or which avenue or which avenues are you going to go with this film?
It's a very easy one for me, because what attracted me the most was the mystery. You know, I've been very interested in doing a mystery, and this was a mystery that was encased in a lot of fun stuff, as you say. A lot of the action, the world building, all of that I really geek out on. I love it. I love to create it, build it. But the core of what really drew me into it was the mystery, and the fact that the mystery is the character himself. I thought was fantastic. You know, anything that begs the question of who am I I'm just really drawn to. So that was the main thing that got me passionate about the film. And the other stuff is really the fun stuff. It's the hard stuff, but it's the fun stuff. And so that's definitely the main reason why I actually did the movie.
Colin, a lot of actors talk about finding out who the character is before they play him, understanding him well. What's the challenges in playing a character who doesn't really know who he is for a large portion of the film?
I don't know, maybe I've spent a large portion of my life not knowing who I am. I'm not saying I have any definitely clear idea today in particular, but you know, indecision, I suppose, indecision and uncertainty were 2 elements that reign supreme in Doug Quaid's life at the moment that he finds out that everything he believed to be real, everything that he held close and dear to him in his life is a fabrication. So it's just kind of in a state of constant shock for the majority of the film, really. And whereas most of us, you know, we use our past as a kind of a reference point for where we are in our lives, he doesn't have that. And I think in the film there's something essentially liberating. Not at the start, not when he finds out, but essentially it becomes a kind of a source of liberation that the future is wide open because he can be whatever he wants to be. It's a case of, you know, he has to decide what kind of man he wants to be. He's not formed and shaped by his past, even though his past is chasing him down. Well, it sounds like I might be speaking about breaking myself down on a shrink's couch somewhere. But I'm not, really, it's just that.
No, it's great. Yes, sir.
Okay, a year ago you said that you're taking the role of Sharon Stone, but you're adding to it. But you admitted that you were very nervous about it. So a year later, what do you think now?
Well, I mean, my character's actually sort of a mix of a couple of characters from the original movie, so I sort of feel like, I don't know, I grew up in England, and by the time I was 15 or so, I'd probably seen 5 or 6 different Hamlets, so I feel sort of okay about, you know, presenting a different take on a familiar character. There are things that are different. One is that, obviously, I think a contemporary audience is more ready to see a woman without necessarily having a right-hand man. I think we're used to that in a way that perhaps audiences from the original movie weren't. But I think Sharon Stone rocked it. Our tone is very different, so it's actually quite hard to compare the two performances. Really, it doesn't really seem like the same character apart from we hit certain points, along the way in the story. But it was a wild ride. I enjoyed it.
I think she thought Len was going to be making Basic Instinct, and that's why she skeptical at first.
Len, from what we saw today, it looks like there were a few sort of homages to the original film, a few moments there where you sort of give a nod to the original film. That's nice.
For sure, yeah. I wanted to make, in fact, the first script that I read was the fact that the film doesn't go to Mars was such a departure already that I actually went in and there were certain things that I wanted to bring to life in this one that I thought really, just as myself, going to see if I wasn't involved in it, what I would want to see.
If we didn't have the hooker with 3 boobs, we'd all be very upset.
As would I. So.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving us 3 boobs. We appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Hello, I bet my accent gives you a bit of a clue what I'm going to ask about. In the poster, I see the Westminster Clock Tower, Big Ben's tower there, and I see you're being pretty cagey with Bill Nighy, and he's hidden away a lot in some of this stuff. Is Britain Mars in this film? Is it the stand-in? And what is your representation of my fatherland, as it were? And Kate, are you happy with the way Len's portrayed today?
Colin, please.
Am I happy with the way Len's what?
Britain.
Britain?
The way Len has portrayed Britain.
I think I am.
I think you are.
I think I am.
I thought, if there's one nation that survived, I thought that was that's
It would
actually
be the hardy Brits, right? With our Dunkirk spirit.